Welcome back to the Luna Galaxy. My name is Luna. We are happy to have you here, and we are coming through with another speed build that I'm doing here. This one is a little bit more near and dear to my heart because this is a real to Sims replica of my actual home. I had a lot of fun doing this. I have done this a couple of times since I moved into my new house, and I finally was like, you know what, I want to be more in depth and really make it as close as possible. I could have chose a longer lot because we do have a pretty good size of yard in the front and back. But also, I told myself, you know what, just keep it down to your main focus is the house, and the yard is just a secondary and not a big deal of it. So this is in the gallery. It is under CC because it's my home. I wanted the things in it that were pretty darn close to what I actually have in my house. But this is a replica, and when I say replica, there are some things that are missing. The hallway bathroom is in a different spot than what it actually is in my house, simply because I would have had to extend it out a lot further to get the exact measurement of how the house needed to be, and it would have helped if we could do half walls. I literally needed a half of the grid to be able to do it, and I didn't have it. So I did turn the bathroom to face a different direction than what it's supposed to face. But other than that, the only thing that's missing are a couple of the closets. In the mud room, where the laundry room is. The laundry room is actually in a quote unquote closet, so I can shut the doors and you can't see the laundry room. And then my closet is a walk in closet, and I didn't really give myself a walk in closet. And then there's the hot water heater, and the ventilation system is in another closet on the opposite wall in the mudroom. And I went ahead and put that in the hallway closet. So that's a little different. In that hallway closet, at the end of the hallway is usually where our blankets and games, board games, and towels are at. So just little things like that I did alter, and that's why when I tell people, if you do a real The Sims, or especially when you're doing a floor plan that you're familiar with, whether it be your house, your apartment, a familyhood house that you grew up in, don't try and get it exactly to a T, because honestly, The Sims won't let you. Unless you just have the perfect gridded house that will work on The Sims. Sometimes it's really hard to get it exactly to a T. And like I said, I could have just went ahead and took this to a bigger lot to have more room to work with. But I was like, I'm not going to stress myself about it, because I do end up really, really loving this build. It's really fun to actually play my house in a game. And that's what I love about The Sims so much, is that you can do these things like this. You can recreate your town, and maybe even recreate a part of your story in your life within The Sims, by being able to do these builds and create yourself and other people that you possibly know, and play out maybe some real The Sims stories that you've gone through and done. Another thing that I like doing real The Sims is that I suggest to people, if you feel like that you're not a strong builder, or you don't know what to build, you don't know how to maneuver things, do a real The Sims. And the biggest real The Sims that I would suggest to do is to do your house. If you're an apartment, do your apartment. Wherever you're living, recreate what you know. It's easy to go off of. It's easy to kind of learn, okay, what can't I do in The Sims, in the grid, and how the floor plans work. Do those, and then slowly you'll start to realize, okay, I'm going to start branching out and doing just things off the top of my head, or start doing builds that you see around town. Use Google, use Zillow, Google floor plans, family homes. I would always start small with any type of family home, 1 to 3 bedroom homes, or anything like that, to get comfortable with building. I will say that I do end up putting a different quote unquote version of this house on the gallery, because I redo the front roofing that is over the porch, because once I started looking at it, I was like, there's not a gap in between where the top of the roof and the I guess you would call it it's not an awning that comes over the sidewalk. So I think in the screenshots, I actually have a picture of what the end roof actually turned out to be. I made it a lot better and it looks more real like to what my house is, because this was annoying me. Like, I didn't notice it when I was building it and I was like, yeah, this is good. But when I started playing it, I was looking at it, I was like, I don't like this roof. And honestly, this is how my actual house is. My house is a rectangle. I guess I didn't realize that when we built it, and I was mainly just looking inside in the floor plan and, you know, the space that we needed and what I wanted. But then I'm like, man, my house is a rectangle, and I don't even build rectangle houses. So I thought it was fun that I actually live in a rectangle house. But nonetheless, it was fun building, you know, my own house, and my kids walked in every now and then and they're like, wait, that's my room. Wait, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm building our house. So they had some input here and there on, you know, little things on their room, and I try to get it as close as possible. I think their rooms are more close to their real room than my room is. When I got to my room, which is typical mom, I threw my bed in there, threw my computer, and then I was like, I'm done. And I was just watching the screenshots of this. I didn't put my double shelving above my computer. I just stuck a picture up there. I have 2 Wonder Woman pictures on the side of my computer, and I have 2 shelves of my pop figures and my Power Ranger helmet and my Storm collection and my Moonlight. And I'm like, I didn't even put any emphasis in my own room. I have fairy lights behind my bed. I have 2 pictures behind my bed, and I have my comic books behind me on the other side of the wall from my computer. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go in and give my room some justice, but that's typical mom things. I got everything around the house like as close as possible, got to my room, and I was like, yeah, this is it. So I will go in later on when I do play the storyline with my kids in it, and do my room right, because it's really, really empty. And I didn't realize that until I started watching this and doing the speed build. And I was like, man, you kind of skipped out on your room there. But yeah, this is where I'm working on the laundry room. And like I said, there are actually technically like 2 closets in that mud room. The washer and dryer are enclosed behind doors. And then where I'm putting the broom and I end up putting a basket, that is actually an open, it's kind of an open closet. There's no door on it, but it's an opening where I keep all of my cleaning supplies, my crosswave, my broom, all the toiletry items, toilet paper, paper towels. So we have like a little cleaning nook in there as well. But you know, like I said, it's a replica. I didn't stress about making it too identical, but enough to where there's some nostalgia of walking through my own halls in my house and walking through with the Sims version of me through my house. About a week after I did this build, and I was playing it, I did end up extending the boys' room over, and I think I extended my room back because, like, the room is a good size room, but when other Sims started to go in there, they wouldn't sit on the bed to watch TV. When he had a friend spend the night, he wouldn't sleep on the floor. So I realized I had to make pretty much the side of the living room and both of my son's room. I extended that out to where now they can get to the fireplace. Now 2 Sims will walk in their room, and it gives them more space to do activities in there, which is true. Their rooms are a pretty good size. And I guess when you look at the relation to the Sims, like when I'm building it, it looked like, oh yeah, this is fine. But when your Sim gets in there, it's like, oh crap, they can't get to anything. So you'll come across that when you're building, and I think that happens all the time, no matter how seasoned you are. It's just an eye game sometimes. Or, you know, sometimes you just memorize, like, how many bricks wide you can go and can't go. But when you're also move objects, it changes the game also. So doing the backyard, we do have, like, a full playground kind of back there. But, of course, in The Sims, you have the swing set, and you have, like, the spaceship and the ship, but I didn't want that because we don't really have that. I could have used the treehouse from Growing Together. I actually did this before I got Growing Together. But we technically don't have a treehouse, so I didn't want to get the treehouse, so I just stuck with the swing set. My son loves that part of the swing set anyway. And then we do have a swimming pool, and I could have done a version of an above-ground pool because we do have a medium-sized above-ground pool, but I was like, you know what, we're just going to make it an in-ground pool, call it a day. It's fine. I wasn't stressing, like I said, too much about the backyard. It's probably, Sims-wise, it's probably 4 tiles bigger. My backyard is maybe 5 tiles bigger. So I could, like I said, I could have gotten a lot that was a little bit bigger. But I wasn't stressing too much on the yard. It wasn't a big deal for me because I'm still personally working on my backyard. We've only lived in this house for 3 years, so there's still things that I'm even trying to catch up on, especially outdoors wise. So, I just kind of didn't have that as my main focus. One thing that I do know I did jump around in this build a lot. When I was doing this, like, I did not focus on one room at a time like I normally try to do. I was jumping so much, so please forgive me in all of that. Like, when I saw something in the build by menu, I was like, oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. And I was outside, then I came back inside, then I went in my room, then I went in Caden's room, and then I jumped back to outside. Like, I think I was just excited that it was actually going really well, because the last time when I tried to do this, it did not go well. I don't know what it was. I think I was just trying to make it too much identical that I just got upset, and I think I ended up deleting it because I did do my house before, like I said, and I think I stressed myself out too much, and that's when I had to just tell myself, hey, guess what? You can't make things identical in The Sims. Like, you cannot. And I think that's when I eased into building a little bit more, especially when I'm doing Real to Sims. I kind of took that breath and was like, hey, it's not going to be identical, and it's okay. Had to utilize the light switches now that we have them to give them that realism of the light switches, and also using outlets. I did use some CC outlets though, because I like places that have a lot of outlets, and then when I built my house, I was like, I need outlets. The only thing that I didn't realize until I was cleaning my house is that I have no outlets in my mudroom or the hallway. And I was like, why did we miss this? Like, I asked for all the outlets and you didn't put them in, like, the areas that I need to clean. But it's fine. We make it work, and there's actually an outlet in the bathroom that makes my vacuum and stuff reach. Barely. Like, it's very close that I run out of cord, but we make it. It's fine. So looking at all of this, and yes, my kids have one green room and one red room. I let them choose their paint color, and that's what both of them chose. And then I have a purple accent on my wall. I don't know why, ever since I knew I was building my own house, I was like, I need one purple wall. It's just, you guys know me and my purple. So that will always be dear to me when I see the floor plan and I actually see all of that. This is where I just throw in their little closet. Is it accessible? Not really, but it's just there, just the thought of it. And, it fills up that space of how their room is kind of laid out. And then, like I said, the bathroom isn't technically in the right place, but it's fine. It kind of sucks for me, but it kind of doesn't, because looking at my house now, I'm like, do I have a random area in my, like, hallway that is just empty wall? Because the hallway bathroom actually runs long ways, like, against my wall where my computer is. That's where that bathroom runs. So if I turn it, and then my bathroom is actually pretty much spot on the direction it's going and how it looks. And one thing that I noticed when I was playing this, I don't know if this was just a glitch after Growing Together came out, but, like, I can sit at this desk perfectly fine. My sim can sit and play, because I was really worried that it was too close and they wouldn't be able to get to it, but they can get to it. They walk around it, get in the bed, and you can slide into the bed, because I think Caden had slept in my bed and I got in my bed because it is really close to the wall. But IRL, my bed is actually really close to the wall because no one else sleeps with me, so I'm not worried about it. But every time I click on the sim to play on the computer, they won't go to it, and they don't really say they can't get to it. It just cancels out. So I have to click on them to sit in the seat, and then click on the computer, and then choose what they do on the computer. I don't know why. I don't know if that has been fixed, or I don't know if it's just because it's super close, but it doesn't say that they can't get to it. So I don't know if anyone else has had that problem or noticed it, but yeah, I have to click on the chair for them to sit down, and then when they sit down, then I can click on the computer and have them play a game, write a form, or do something like that. If I click on the computer, they'll just stand there and it'll cancel out. Like, they won't wave and say they can't get to it. It just cancels itself out. So I was like, well, that's annoying. It's a little bit annoying. I probably had the most fun working on Christian's room because he is an artist, and his room is probably the closest to all the items that are in his room and how it's laid out, where he works on his editing, where he works on his stop motion and his sketching, and his drawing. When I extended his room out bigger, I didn't end up giving him an easel because I thought there was like something that you could do on the tablet or drawing and stuff, but you can't. So I wanted to give him something that he could actually draw in because he is an artist. And so the easel, it was the only option. I know it's big and obnoxious, and I would love for him to have like a sketchbook, which I'm sure I could probably find something that's like a modded thing, or a CC that's like a sketchbook. Like, why don't we have a sim that just has a sketchbook? Why do they have to have just an easel? You know what I mean? So, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we should have just a typical sketchbook and not just an easel. But I end up making his room bigger and giving him an easel so he can work on his art skills. And then Caden picked out his Mortal Kombat poster, even though he doesn't have one in his room, but he saw that I had it, and he said he wanted to have that in his room. So I was like, okay. So both of my kids did pick out some of the art that's in their room. I chose Blick Block on my son's wall because he's been heavily getting into Tetris as well, and so Blick Block clearly makes us think of Tetris. So we put that in there, and then he picked out, I think, one of the other posters that's on his other wall. So it was not only fun for me to do this, it was also fun that they came in and actually like watched me do this and was like, ooh, can you put this in my room? Can you put that in my room? So it has a little bit more sentimental value. People in the community did ask me if I was going to play this and make a series of it, and I think I will. I started playing on my own, just kind of when I stopped recording stuff, just kind of relaxed, and I just wanted to play. So we have gone through a couple of things. Just on my own. I think I was streaming it in Discord, so if anyone just saw me hanging out and playing there. But I think I will start recording this and adding this into it. There's no special challenge that we're doing with this. It's just a typical just playing with my sim self and my kids. I did give myself, I am an educator. I actually gave myself 2 jobs because I'm a paranormal investigator and I am a teacher. Because I have a mod where you can have more than one job. Because I was like, no, I don't want to just have one job because I make content. I paranormal investigate. I am a teacher. So I was like, no, I need this mod to where you have more than one job. It does make it a little bit more interesting because now your sim is like overly tired, especially the start of the paranormal job. It's not just weekends. It's actually during the week as well as my other job. So I'm like, oh, geez. So I haven't chose for my sim to be a streamer yet, so I want to see how things play out. Because right now there's no way that my sim would be able to mentally make it and also try and be a parent. I did go in when Growing Together came out and did the relationship things. So after I did this and Growing Together came out, I did go in and change some things on our family aspect. You can get this build in the gallery. Like I said, this is a CC one because there is quite a bit of CC in there, so if you would like it. I also created my children and myself. The only thing I have to add is our dog, and they are in the gallery as well as no CC. So I appreciate you guys. The screenshots are coming up. All my information is down below in the description. Don't forget to check out the TikTok live streams we do over there with different challenges and builds. Have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are. This is Luna, Galaxy out.